Hello everybody, it's me, Blue Raptor. I know it's been like a bajillion years since I did a video, and even longer since I did one with my voice in it, but recently I have had a sudden burst of inspiration to do a video, and so here we are. So today we will be doing Minecraft biomes as Wings of Fire Dragons. Most of them are going to be hybrids, which is totally okay with me because I love designing hybrids, as you can tell by my main OC, Raptor. And so I have picked out 4 biomes today that we are going to be drawing as dragons. As for rules, I only have 1. I am going to have to only use colors that are either an item, or a block, or a mob, or just anything that's in the game. If it's not in the game, it's not a color I can use. I'm also going to be selling these dragon designs as add-ons, so if you're interested, you can go down to the description of the video after you finish watching and click on a link to my Kofi where you can buy one. It's first come, first serve, so you have to be quick before someone else gets it. Now, on to the first dragon, the first biome. So, the first dragon that we will be designing today will be based off of the Lush Cave biome. Lush Caves are temperate underground biomes in Minecraft with unique flora and fauna. They are characterized by moss, water, and new plant life, and are the only underground biome that can generate beneath oceans. Lush caves are most likely to be found under humid biomes like jungles, dark forests, and swamps. They can also generate under oceans and deserts, but not under plains and savannas. And the items that inspired me for this character were the flowering azalea, glowberries, big drip leaf, and dirt. But I needed the dirt for all the browns I added to this character, and also for the color of her ears. So for the dragon design of a lush cave, I decided to make this character a leafwing mudwing. And some of the things I definitely wanted her to have were like leafing horns, and I wanted her to have a big mudwing crocodilian tail, and I wanted her to have big droopy ears and a face like a mudwing. But for the most part, her colors would look a bit more like a leafwing, and she would have a leafwing sail that would kind of trail down into mudwing spines. I wanted her to be very flowery and covered in plants, so I added a lot of leaves trailing from her horns and azalea flowers on her ears. I wanted to make her eyes look like glowberries to have an excuse to add some orange, and I think she came out very cute. I ended up naming her Azalea. Now if you do end up purchasing her as an adopt, then of course you can change the name. But I also came up with just a little bit of a backstory as I was drawing her, and decided that she would be more on the sweet side, caring about dragons, and always looking on the bright side of things, but I didn't think of much past that. For the next biome, I really wanted to do my favorite, a warped forest. Warped forest is a nether biome in Minecraft, added in the 1.16 nether update. It is a cyan-colored oasis of calm and unique landscape and vegetation, and is considered safer than the other nether biomes. And for the inspired items of this biome, I decided to use a warped fungus, crimson fungus, warped nylium, and the blocks of wood from a huge warped fungus. Now this is one of the designs I was most excited to draw, considering it has my favorite color palette, blue and orange. And so I set right to work drawing a Seawing Skywing hybrid. And then out of nowhere comes this Sandwing sail. I don't know what I was thinking when I was drawing it, but it just appeared, I guess. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is a Seawing Skywing Sandwing tribrid. Either that, or you can just say that the sail is some sort of mutated Seawing sail, I guess. It's up to you if you decide to adopt this character. I made his eyes look like the spots on the warped fungus. And as well as that, I gave him some glowing spots like glowstone or lava. He can't really speak very good aquatic, due to how far and few between his spots are, and how oddly placed they are. I was considering calling him Warp, but I felt like that was a bit too on the nose, and so I decided to go with Strider, another mob in the Nether, and I feel like that fits him a bit more. As for backstory, I decided that he would be more of a confident, loud, extroverted character who loves doing anything physical like flying or wrestling. He doesn't have very many sandwing traits. I was actually going to give him a barbed tail, which you can't see in the picture. I also ended up making his mouth blue, but I thought it came out cool in the end. And for the next biome, we have the End, of course, a classic. The End is Minecraft's third dimension, often considered the final destination for players. It features a central island where the Ender Dragon fight takes place, surrounded by smaller islands in the void, all made of end stone. The End is inhabited by Endermen, Shulkers, and the Ender Dragon.
And the inspiration blocks for this biome are obsidian, crying obsidian. Oh, yes, I know it's not in the end. I wanted to use it for the purples. End stone and end crystals. And yes, I'm sorry for the terrible green screen quality on the end crystal.
So obviously, I didn't want to make a character who looked basically just like the Ender Dragon. It is also part Sandwing, because I really wanted to add the color of the end stone, since it is so dominant in the end. So I ended up giving her a Sandwing sail that curls over, and I gave her a belly that looked like end stone, and the rest of her that looks like a mixture between obsidian and crying obsidian. Now, I know crying obsidian isn't in the end, but I really wanted to add the purple effect to her wings and frill, and I really wanted to add sort of like these markings on the side of her face that look like tears, and I don't really know what compelled me to add that. I just thought it looked cool. Now, being part Nightwing, she actually doesn't have any powers, unfortunately. Yeah, I know, she's not like a super powerful, like, hybrid epic dragon, I know. But she also doesn't have a Sandwing barb. Although she looks cool, she is actually pretty ordinary and partially defenseless. Obviously, I had to give her purple eyes, like the End Dragon, and like Enderman, and I had decided to name her Void. Obviously, I could have gone with Ender, which I think is a cool name, but I actually already have an OC named Ender, so I didn't want to steal a name from myself, so I decided to go with Void. And now for her personality, she seems very mysterious. One might even think that she's an assassin or something. Although she looks very mysterious on the outside, she's actually a very sweet dragon deep down. And now we are on to the last biome, the Deep Dark. The Deep Dark is a dangerous, dark, and skulk-filled underground biome in Minecraft, characterized by its ancient cities and the terrifying warden mob. It generates deep underground, typically beneath mountains or plateau regions. The biome is known for its skulk blocks, sensors, catalysts, and shrieks, which can summon the warden.
And for the blocks I wanted to design this character off of, I decided to go with a skulk catalyst, a skulk shrieker, a skulk sensor, and I also wanted to make this character blind. But, as you may know, the Deep Dark doesn't have really any white blocks, since I want to make his eyes sort of like a milky white color. And so I actually decided to go with a wool carpet, a white one specifically. And you might be thinking, why would you use something that is not part of the Deep Dark naturally? Well, as you may already know, carpet is actually useful when traversing in the Deep Dark because it muffles your footsteps, helping wardens to not detect the vibrations from your feet.
Now this one, I thought of at the last minute, and I just knew I had to do it. It's such a cool biome, but I knew it would make an awesome looking dragon. This hybrid is going to be a sea Nightwing. I had even sketched it beforehand to just help visualize it, and I actually came up with a little bit of a backstory too, which you'll see at the end of this speed paint, which is a little bit more developed than any of the others' backstories. I actually decided to name him Skulk since it is an actual thing in real life. It means to keep out of sight, typically with a sinister or cowardly motive, and I actually thought that was perfect for the backstory I came up with him. So Skulk was born underwater near the volcano where the Nightwings grew up. His parents met when a Seawing met a Nightwing off of the coast of the island, and they had one egg together. Skulk was born blind, and one day during the war, when there was an attack, he accidentally ended up killing one of his fellow Sea Wings, which landed him in prison. That's why he has a chain, and how he ended up breaking his horn when he escaped from the prison. So now he's a fugitive, although he's quite confused by the whole ordeal since he doesn't have very good situational awareness. There we go. But he tends to live at the deep dark bottom of the ocean by himself. And now that we've reached the end of the video, I thank you guys all for watching, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your week. Thank you.